So we just covered Hillary's deposition in front of this Republican-led oversight investigation into Epstein. Now we talk about, as I've coined him, Billary. Because in this day and age, he's her husband, not the other way around. You know what I'm saying? For too long, she was described as his wife. It's Billary now. Okay. After she checked Boebert, Bill was like, "Ah, damn. I haven't felt something like this for you in a long time, Hillary." Very similar to my Biden impression. "Ah, damn, Jack." But different, okay? They do have a kind of similar mannerism. So, Bill, I actually think, there's more reason to have him testify under oath. Sure, let's do it. I don't care, Democrat, Republican, he should answer questions. He is in a lot of photos with Epstein and had obviously a friendship or business association with Epstein. He's doing it, and he's calling for the full release of the files. But these same Republicans, now that they've called in a former president, don't seem willing to call in Trump and Melania, which would be the equivalent, except Trump is the one who is much more relevant to this given his power over the documents and how he's withheld them. But Bill here, I don't even know if I don't think he knew. He's checked out, let's be honest, a little bit from this whole thing. I think Bill didn't realize he was exposing Trump's lie about why he distanced himself from Epstein right here.
I wanted to support it. And so then Donald Trump gave him the golf course in New York to have a tournament on, and I played in it a couple of times. And the day I was there, he would typically, Donald Trump would come out and play a few holes with us. And he somehow knew I had flown in Jeffrey Epstein's aircraft, and he said, "You know, we had some great times together over the years, but we fell out, all because of a real estate deal." And he said, "I'm sorry it happened. That's all."
Just the quickest pause for the video amid all of this chaos. If you do appreciate these updates, please click the subscribe button, click the like button. Both of those are completely free, but subscribe is the most important to support what we do. Back to the video.
Do you recall whether President Trump was the first one to affirmatively bring up the subject of Jeffrey Epstein?
No, but I'd be shocked if I did. I just don't do that.
I don't know. So he there explains, if you couldn't hear it, that Trump has been, again, Bill even in this was like, "I never heard anything about Trump doing anything wrong." But he just exposed that Trump lied, because Trump has been saying that he got creepy vibes from Epstein and kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago, or that Epstein took Trump's people from Mar-a-Lago. And now you have Bill saying that Trump told him on a golf course that he had great times with Epstein, but they had a falling out over a real estate deal, which I have heard something like, Trump was trying to get a property and Epstein came in and grabbed it after Trump told him about it, something to that effect. So that's embarrassing for another contradiction about Trump's telling of his fallout with Epstein, which we've known for some time to be a lie. And then you have a follow-up on that.
And as far as you recall, President Trump characterized the nature of the ending of their friendship as being solely due to the real estate bidding.
That's what he said.
Thank you.
But I didn't think much about it at the time. And, it was 2 minutes and then we were gone.
I don't remember a lot about this. Let me ask my friend. If he knows anything about it. 1 second. Hey, Joe. Here we go. Hey, Joe. Do you remember if I told you if Trump says about a real estate deal? No, I don't, Jack. I never messed with him. That's the type of guy I kick in the butt. I never messed with him. Why is he always hanging out with him? I don't know. Let me get Hillary on the line. Okay. Wait, let me phone in one other person. Robert, are you there? Hello, Mr. Bill. I heard Luke Beasley's calling you Billary now. Very funny. You think that's how RFK Jr. laughs? All right, so then, and we say that all, of course, with love. Then you have this.
There will be many millions of people that watch this deposition. What would you like to say to the survivors directly?
That I hope this will produce a sense of finality, and I don't think that'll happen till the government starts holding on to all the records. I think that, the records should be released. And then I think that we need to come up with strategies to help people who can't get over this get better. And the most important thing we do, I think, besides treat the victims right, is increase the guardrails that will set off alarm systems and stop other people from doing the same thing Epstein did.
So just compare that to this is a hoax, this is a Democrat witch hunt. It's a big difference. Even Hillary, again, I'm saying there's a difference between Bill. Yeah, you should ask him questions, I think. I think so, yeah. And Hillary, even Hillary wasn't going, this is a witch hunt against me, when you could definitely describe it better in that context than when Trump describes it that way. But even she's like, I do think we should have transparency. I am going to sit for this and tell you what I know. And Bill's saying that. Trump's not saying that. That's a big difference. Now here you have Bill saying he doesn't remember. What does he say? He doesn't remember. He doesn't think he's not accusing Trump of anything or something like that.
Oh, I hate this, but because I don't believe I should inject anything. But I do not want to leave the impression, but since there was no follow-up question, the president never, this is 20-something years ago, never said anything to me to make me think he was involved in anything improper with regard to Epstein either. He just didn't. That's the truth. As I said earlier, the only conversation I had with President Trump about this was in the early 2000s. And I have no information that he did anything wrong.
Okay, so that's what Bill is saying. But I think Hillary broke down in the previous segment a little bit better the patterns that Trump has behaved in that should cause concern, the actual allegations that are in the documents about him and hidden by the DOJ, etc. And then there was like this photo. Here's Bill. This looks like Ghislaine, and then someone who's redacted there in a water of some kind, a pool or a hot tub. I couldn't find this clip, but you had the question to Bill saying, were there other people in that pool or hot tub with you as well? And Clinton said, I don't think there's anybody in that hot tub, but I had forgotten that there was anybody in the hot tub, but it was big, but it was about, yikes, Bill. Oh, this one. Here? Yeah, I guess. So then you see him sitting there and then someone sitting next to him. And the way he's leaning back is let me put it this way. I don't know what's in that photo. I don't. But whenever you're number one, Bill Clinton, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. And this is a photo in the Epstein files. Despite us not knowing what's going on and me not making any allegation, it's the worst time for you to be caught on a photograph leaning back in a hot tub with your hands behind your head, looking pleased. That's just the only reason, that's notable. So then someone asks, it appears there's this photo, and the redaction also could be to protect anyone who's not relevant, but also victims have been redacted. So it's concerning. And that's why I do think Bill should be asked about it. And he did. And he says, I don't know who that is. Then he essentially just keeps saying, I don't know what that is. I don't know when that was from. But then he says it was a hotel room and it was the Sultan wanted us to stay there, and they were on some trip and some Sultan. The water, this big pool was on the same floor. There were several suites, and so we went out. I swam around. I sat in the hot tub for 5 minutes or whatever it was, and I got up and went to bed. And then they said, did you engage in sexual activities with this person? And Clinton said no. Okay, so he did get asked about those strange photos. One side point is, if you need a lawyer, this should be your lawyer right here. Check this out.
Do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself?
Are you asking him to speculate on how Mr. Epstein died?
I'm asking what the president thinks of...
So you're asking his opinion?
Mr. President, was your Was your friend, Jeffrey Epstein,
Are you
suicidal?
classifying him as a friend who he is
I mean, Bobert's like, you're moving too fast for me. I'm disoriented. I just got done asking Hillary about UFOs. I can't keep up with this.
testified that he
He
was
has called him a
friendly?
friend in a letter.
He said he was friendly, but not, you've asked
You can see Bill doesn't know what's going on. Watch this. Bill's like, how's she talking that fast?
Jeffrey Epstein,
Are you
suicidal.
classifying him as a friend who he has testified that
He
he was
has called him a
friendly?
friend in a letter.
He said he was friendly, but not, you've asked for his
Mr.
testimony.
President, do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein was suicidal?
Do you know?
Was he ever
She's asking for the
suicidal?
best of your
I
understanding.
don't know. I only know what the medical finding was.
Okay, so all that just for him to say, I don't know. So you see, MAGA, you see? Fine, you want to bring in Bill? Okay, Hillary, I think, is obviously a cheap political shot. Now it's time for Trump. Trump honestly should have been the first one. And if Republicans don't get on board with that, then they're admitting that this is all just a partisan distraction from their dear leader.